We are finished assembling our pegboard toy, and all that we have left to do is put it on a drawing page and print it all out. So if your assembly is all together, has 3 pegs, round, triangle, square, maybe you did the mallet for extra credit, that should be in your assembly too. Now all we have left is to print it out. I'm going to go to the letter I in the upper left hand corner. I'm going to click it and go to New. Easiest way to do this is just go down to the third word, which is Drawing. So when I click that, it's going to open up a drawing frame for me. And then the first thing we're going to do is get rid of this little box in the lower right hand corner. That can interfere with our parts list or the balloons or the pieces or whatever else we might put on this page. So in the column on the left, I'm going to find A and SI large. I'm going to right click and just delete that to get rid of it. Now to find our pegboard toy, I'm going to go to Base. This pop-up window should appear. I like moving it up to the corner so that I can still have room in the background. Since my pegboard assembly was already open, my pegboard shows up in the background immediately. If this doesn't happen for you, go to the little file with the magnifying glass, click there, and open your pegboard assembly. I'm going to look for a view that gives me the best three-dimensional view of my pegboard toy. I also should make sure that my name is on the top. Any of the ISO views are usually a good three-dimensional view of my pegboard. I click through these, check what they look like in the screen behind, and then choose the one I like best. In this case, I'm going to choose the ISO top right. I click on my screen, and then I right click and say OK. You do notice that it goes black and white, but it still shows that I have 3 pegs. Shows that the mallet's there, and then when I print it out, my name will be printed in more detail. I want to add a couple things to this page before I print it, so I'm going to go up to the top and find the word Annotate. This allows me to add notations to my pegboard before I print it. First one we're going to do is a parts list. That just lists all the different parts that we put together. This is very simple. I click on Parts List, click on my pegboard toy, I click OK, and then in this pop-up window I click OK as well. Now I have the outline of a box that has all the parts of my pegboard toy. Try to find a corner where this can be out of the way, and I click. There it is. The next step is to go a little farther down the toolbar ribbon and find the word Balloon. I'm going to use the drop-down menu and choose Auto Balloon for our pegboard toy. So I click on Auto Balloon. I move this pop-up window out of the way just a little bit so that I can see our pegboard. I click once on my pegboard, then I go to a corner and I highlight a box around my entire pegboard, and I should notice that it changes color. Mine changed to a light red color, yours may be green, yellow, blue, any other color, and that's just fine. Now I go to the pop-up window and I want to find Select Placement. I click on Select Placement, then the top radio button, which is around, and I should notice some bubbles appeared on my screen. As I move my mouse back towards my pegboard toy in the background, I should notice little bubbles moving around my screen, kind of like ants at a picnic. When I get them all arranged in a place where they don't interfere with the parts list or anything else, I'm just going to click in the screen. I now have all these bubbles attached to my pegboard toy. I can go back to the pop-up window and click OK. Now all the items in the parts list are given a number, and those numbers correspond with the bubbles that point to the different parts of my pegboard toy. At this point, we're ready to print. I go up to the letter I in the upper left-hand corner. Print is the second function from the bottom, and I can click there. 2 things to make sure of. One, that we are in WCC 103. That's the printer right here in our room. And to get this to print on one page, we have to remember to press Best Fit. When this is completed and you've clicked Best Fit, click OK, and your pegboard toy should print out at the printer in the room. Make sure you look for the pegboard with your name on it once they print out. You are done. You've made it through the first big project for the Do Right Box Company, and I'm sure you did a stellar job.